He was in NWA, and he was a producer.
So Snoop Dogg was never with you?
No, he was never with me.
I noticed you're very short on those two names. You have very little to say.
I can talk about them all day. I mean, I make money from Dre and Snoop, so it don't matter.
That's how I was with Eazy-E. I loved Eazy-E.
Right as a kid.
But I never could be friends with Eazy-E when I got with Dr. Dre. I could never say, damn, Eazy, you a bad motherfucker. What you call your shit is hard. I always had to be like that.
We're from Compton and Long Beach, and there has always been a lot of tension between these two places. People in Compton do not really consider Dr. Dre as one of their own, and people from Long Beach do not think of Snoop as representing them. If you really love hip-hop, then you know about the deep tension between Eazy and Snoop Dogg. But did you know that before Eazy passed away, he allegedly warned other rappers about Snoop? Fast forward to today, and fans are starting to believe that Eazy was right all along. Over the years, Snoop has done some shady things, from his role in the East Coast/West Coast drama to his rumored jealousy of Tupac. Strange loyalty to Diddy, and then more recently performing for Trump after dissing him back in 2017, and also starring in that bizarre ad with Tom Brady. I mean, the hypocrisy is off the charts. Have you seen this new advert attempting to tackle anti-Semitism? I hate you because we're from different neighborhoods. I hate you because you look different. I hate you because I don't understand you. I hate you because people I know hate you. I hate you because I think you hate me because I need someone to blame because you talk different because you act. It is crazy how people can dislike others just because they are different. What is even worse is that things have gotten so bad that we now need a commercial to talk about it. I feel the same way. The ad was funded by a foundation that works to fight against anti-Semitism, and this organization says its goal is to educate and empower people to stand up against hate, including hate towards Jewish people. But some critics have pointed out that this foundation has a history of mixing up criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism, and they say this ad is just another example of promoting Israeli views. And this is just the beginning of all the questionable things Snoop has done for money. So, let us take a closer look at Eazy-E's final warning about Snoop.
Dre stays right around the corner from me, but when he sees me, he ducks his head, because he's scared to face me. You know?
Why?
Why? Because he's screwed up. People out there know how he really was.
Next month, it will be 30 years since hip-hop lost a real legend, Eazy-E. He was one of the pioneers of gangster rap and played a huge role in shaping the culture. Eazy was born and raised in Compton, and he co-founded Ruthless Records with Jerry Heller, releasing some of the most important tracks in hip-hop history. But behind the scenes, things were not so simple. Jerry Heller was not really liked by the rest of the group, and Eazy's loyalty to him caused a lot of problems. This tension eventually led to Ice Cube leaving in 1989 to drop his solo album America's Most Wanted. 2 years later, Dr. Dre left too, teaming up with Suge Knight and Michael Harris to start Death Row Records. When Dr. Dre and Suge Knight started Death Row, they were not just making business moves, they were creating a direct rival to everything NWA had worked hard to build. Death Row came in with a strong, raw, street-focused energy and quickly became a real threat to NWA's legacy. But it was not just about competition. Dre and Suge completely changed the West Coast music scene. They signed Snoop Dogg, who became a huge star almost overnight, and later added Tupac to the label. Together, they turned Death Row into a major force that shaped West Coast hip-hop in the 1990s. Death Row Records released Dr. Dre's The Chronic in 1992, and the album quickly brought gangster rap into the mainstream, reaching the pop charts for the first time. But The Chronic was not just a big moment for the genre, it also had a lot of disses aimed at Eazy. Dre and Snoop went all in with savage skits, the famous track F*** with Dre Day, and even some hidden disses on the album. Eazy was not going to let this slide. Just a few months after The Chronic came out, Eazy released his own brutal diss track called Real Motherfuckin' G's. In this song, Eazy made fun of Dre and Snoop, calling them studio gangsters. Eazy basically called out Dre and Snoop for acting like they lived a street life they never really did. He went after Dre, saying that Dre was not really from Compton and was not even worth a food stamp. Eazy also brought up Dre's early days with the world-class Wreckin' Crew, making fun of him for the flashy clothes and makeup they wore before NWA came along and changed everything. Eazy did not leave Snoop out either. He made fun of Snoop's skinny body, calling him an anorexic rapper who barely weighed 60 pounds soaking wet, even with boots on. But Eazy did not stop with the jokes. He also got serious. Eazy called out Dre for his past, especially bringing up the brutal attack Dre had on TV host Dee Barnes. He made it clear that putting hands on a woman does not make someone a man. Then, Eazy hit Dre where it really hurt, reminding everyone that Dre Day was actually Eazy's payday. The reason for this is that Dre was still under contract with Ruthless Records, which meant Eazy was still making money off Dre's success at Death Row. Dre was tied to an exclusive contract with Ruthless as both a producer and artist. So, when Dre tried to sign with Interscope, Eazy made sure his name stayed on the paperwork for the next 6 years. To put it simply, every time Dre dropped a hit, Eazy got paid. That is why Eazy famously said, Dre Day was only Eazy's payday.
I had no idea that you make money off product from Dr. Dre and Snoop. Now, how did that work out?
Basically, I had Dre signed as exclusive producer and exclusive artist. So when Dre tried to make his deal over at Interscope, you know, I was included for the next 6 years. So you can say all you want to say. Basically, you can diss me all you want, but I'm gonna get paid. That's why I say Dre Day is only Eazy's payday. And that's real.
To make things even more intense, Eazy-E also took shots at Suge Knight in real motherfucking G's. He called Suge Dre's sergeant and hinted that anyone who went against Suge was basically risking their life. The message was clear, Eazy was not backing down. At the same time, Eazy started calling out Dre and Snoop in interviews whenever he got the chance. He made it clear that in 1993, he was sticking with people like MC Ren and Ice Cube, who always stayed sucker-free. They didn't get caught up in the drama and always kept it real. With Dre, you know where he came from, the world-class Wreckin' Crew. So, that's how it is now. We are staying sucker-free in 1993. You feel me? Is there tension between you and Dre? What? Dre has no love for you. No love at all? First of all, I want to talk about those studio gangsters out there. Wait. Let me explain it clearly for everyone. A studio gangster is someone who is not real. They go into the studio, and suddenly they act tough, when before they were just dancing and wearing flashy clothes. Applause. People who know music know how he really was. He used to be a dancer, but now he is trying to live out the things he raps about. I do not know, but I think people believe he is pretending or trying too hard to act tough, trying to live up to everything he raps about. The truth is, he did not know anything about street life or street music until he teamed up with me. Before that, he was doing that techno stuff. There are a lot of rappers out there living in a fairy tale. What does a fairy tale mean? Now, as for Dre, he reportedly. People accused Eazy-E of working with Jerry Heller to cheat the rest of NWA out of their money. However, it later came out that Jerry was also allegedly playing Eazy and making some shady moves behind his back. Before Eazy passed away in 1995, he cut ties with Jerry after realizing the betrayal. Eazy even shared with close friends that Jerry had been taking money for years. Ruthless Records rapper BJ Knockout told Hip Hop DX that Eazy found records showing millions of dollars missing from the label, money that was allegedly stolen. Jerry Heller himself was blamed by Eazy-E for many of the problems, and another artist from Ruthless Records said that Eazy always blamed Jerry for the fallout with Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Eazy thought Jerry's manipulative ways were what really caused NWA to break apart from the inside. But when it came to Snoop, Eazy did not feel the same way. He apparently always saw Snoop as a snake. Some people in the industry later said that the tension between Eazy and Snoop was more about label politics, Ruthless versus Death Row, than any personal issues. However, others believed that Eazy's feelings toward Snoop were more personal than just business. Eazy had a bad feeling about Snoop and started telling people in his circle that Snoop could not be trusted. Now, fans are looking back and saying that Eazy was right all along when he warned people not to trust Snoop. There has been a lot of talk recently that Snoop secretly felt jealous of Tupac's rise at death row. Before Tupac joined the label, Snoop was the top star. After Doggy Style came out in 1993, Snoop was on top. But when Tupac showed up with his strong presence and charm, things began to change. Tupac brought a new energy with his storytelling and street presence, quickly becoming the main focus at death row. Suddenly, the label was all about Tupac, and Snoop found himself in the background. Now, here's where things get questionable. Some people believe that Snoop knew about the hit on Tupac, but did not warn him. Snoop was around some big players who had strong connections in both the music industry and the streets. Instead of standing by Tupac, he distanced himself right before Tupac's death. According to Warren G., he even convinced Snoop to stay in Los Angeles instead of going to Vegas with Tupac and Suge on the night Tupac was shot in 1996. Warren G. said that Snoop originally planned to go to Vegas for the Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon fight on September 7, 1996, the same night Tupac was attacked. However, at the last minute, Warren convinced Snoop to stay in Los Angeles instead. Warren also recalled that while he and Snoop were hanging out at his place in Los Angeles, someone contacted Snoop on his Nextel walkie-talkie and told him that Tupac had come to see him instead of going to Vegas. Because of this, Snoop decided not to go to Vegas. He stayed in LA, and they ended up watching everything unfold from there. We were just enjoying ourselves, watching the fight, and having a great time. We were hanging out with some girls and a lot of friends. Everyone was just relaxing and having fun, you know? Snoop had a big group of his boys and girls with him. Then, he had this Nextel phone, remember those? Yeah, I am not sure what kind of Nextel he had, but whatever it was working, and he kept getting calls on it. They were telling Snoop everything that was happening in Vegas. We could hear what they were saying, and then Snoop started getting more calls. They told him that Tupac had been shot. At that moment, Snoop told everyone to leave. He asked everyone to get out, and then he rushed to Vegas to check on Tupac. But here is where things get strange. Later, Suge Knight questioned why Snoop had a walkie-talkie that night. He suggested that Snoop might have known that something bad was going to happen to Tupac. The only reason Snoop would have had a walkie-talkie is if he knew what was going to happen. Suge Knight questioned why Snoop had a walkie-talkie with him that night. He asked, "If you were at the fight with us and had security, why would you need a radio?" Suge did not stop there. He also pointed out that Snoop and former death row artist Daz Dillinger were on a track with DeAndre Smith, who is believed to be the person who killed Tupac. Suge went on to say that Snoop warned Daz not to go to Vegas on the night of September 7, 1996. Then, Suge dropped another surprising claim, saying that Snoop lied about getting kicked out of the hospital when he supposedly went to visit Tupac. After the shooting, Warren G. said that Snoop told him he was going to visit Tupac at the hospital. But according to Suge Knight, Snoop never actually showed up to the hospital, not even once. On top of that, right after Tupac passed away and Suge was locked up, Snoop wasted no time showing his loyalty to Diddy. Just a few months after Tupac's death, Snoop appeared on The Steve Harvey Show with Diddy to talk about ending the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Of course, the timing of all this seemed very suspicious. Everything felt a little off. Snoop said, "This rivalry has to stop, man. If we stop it, we can stop a lot of the violence." He continued, "Whether you like it or not, you are role models, and your music affects a lot of people. You need to think about being examples for the young ones." He then said, "If either of you want to use Steve's music or sample it, I want to see some East Coast, West Coast love right here." After that, Snoop looked at Steve and said, "Yo, Steve, listen. All that East Coast, West Coast stuff is just media drama. This has been my friend from day one." Snoop said, "It is all good between me and him. That is my guy, for real. We came into the game to light it up and make great music together." But what made fans start to look at Snoop differently was the situation with Eminem and Diddy. Right after Eminem threw shots at Diddy, Snoop started acting strange and downplaying Eminem's place in hip-hop. When Eminem dropped that line in Kill Shot about Diddy being involved in Tupac's murder, Snoop suddenly said that Eminem was not even in his top 10 list of rappers.
He has probably put Eminem in a position where he could be labeled as one of the top 10 rappers ever. I don't think so, but the game feels like he's top 10 lyricists and all that comes with it, but that's just because he's with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre helped him find the best Eminem that he could find.
But it does not end there. Fast forward to now, and Snoop's actions have taken his hypocrisy to new levels. Do you remember back in 2017 when Snoop called out artists who were rumored to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration? He called them Uncle Toms. He said, "So, nobody is going to perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you, expletive, is going to be the first to do it? I am waiting. I am going to roast one of you Uncle Toms for doing it. Which one of you is going to do it first?" He did not stop there. Snoop even made a music video where he pretended to assassinate a Trump lookalike. But as the saying goes, it is no fun when the rabbit has the gun. But here is the twist. As soon as the money came through, all that anti-Trump talk disappeared. That same month, Snoop performed at the Crypto Ball, a celebration for Donald Trump's inauguration. He performed during the inauguration weekend for Trump, and someone took a picture and posted it on Twitter. Rick Ross also performed at the event, and he joked, "Man, you playing to win tonight. You sharp as a mosquito needle. What's going down?" That's that crypto. They let a real one in the Crypto Ball. Snoop did not post anything about the event on Twitter or Instagram, even though he posts on Instagram a lot. In fact, he posted 15 times that day, but there was nothing about the event from the night before. Now, fans are calling him out, saying he will do anything for money. After everything that happened, the big question is, was Eazy right about Snoop all along? It looks like Eazy saw it coming when he called Snoop a studio gangster and warned people that he wasn't as real as he seemed. What do you think? Do you believe Eazy was right about Snoop? How do you feel about Snoop's reputation? Do you think he is a snake? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the next video.